Microsoft updated its terms of service, and they are looking to ban offensive language from Xbox, Skype, Office, and other services starting on May 1st. And they claim that they have the right to go through your private data to investigate. So I figured I'll make a video, talk about my thoughts on the subject, and maybe shed some light on what exactly is going on. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And a subscriber wanted me to give my thoughts on this, so that is what I'm doing. But first, if you missed it, very early this morning, around 6 a.m. my time, I released my review for Far Cry 5. In my opinion, it's the best Far Cry game ever made. So if you want to, check out what it's about, if the in-depth stuff you'll be doing in Far Cry 5 before the game comes out tomorrow, make sure you check it out. Yeah, but I saw this news, and it had a lot of people questioning, what is exactly going on? Now, Microsoft has always kind of had the right to ban people for offensive language and stuff in their terms of service. Terms of service are very in-depth. It's what you agree to when you sign up to Xbox Live. They can basically kick you off of the service for whatever they deem. Like, you agree to it, they can kick you off. It is what it is. But this one has people scratching their heads, because not only are they talking about offensive language and inappropriate content, but they also claim that the company has this right to go through your private data to investigate claims, which a lot of people don't agree with. So what exactly is going on? So the summary of the changes here reads as follows. In the Code of Conduct section, we clarified that use of offensive language and fraudulent activity is prohibited. We also clarified that the violation of the Code of Conduct through Xbox services may result in suspensions or bans from participation in Xbox services, including forfeiture of content licenses, Xbox Gold membership time, and Microsoft account balances associated with the account. So as you can see, they've clarified it, which basically states that it's already been in the terms of service. They're just trying to clarify and give meaning to what is going on. Now, the first one is pretty simple. Fraudulent activity, that's like stealing or accessing things maybe you shouldn't access, stuff like that, which I don't think anybody has a problem with. When you steal from the store or steal from the company, they're going to want it back. So fraudulent activity, I'm sure you guys all agree with and understand. It's the offensive language that really has people kind of scratching their heads, because who deems what language is offensive? Who is making that decision? And I've seen people wonder, you know what? I'm a very... when I play online, I get heated, so I say, fuck all the time, or shit, things of that nature. Am I suddenly going to get banned? And my answer to that would be, of course not. Of course you're not going to get banned for, swearing out loud in a party chat or in game chat. What they're really talking about here is racist stuff, sexist stuff. When someone says the N-word or the F-word or any of those type of offensive languages that, toxic gamers use to demean and belittle other people online. Now, Xbox Live has an enforcement team. They've been banning people for years now for sending, terrible messages. I've gotten some pretty terrible messages myself. I can only imagine what other people get. So it's more talking about that. This isn't a situation, at least in my opinion, where you're going to be going online saying, I just killed that fucker, and then suddenly, you're going to be banned from Xbox Live. Of course not. Now, people are worried, because if that did happen, not only would you forfeit whatever games you buy, like personally I own 1,200 games. I bought a lot of those. And if I were to ever lose my account and I would lose licenses to those games I bought, I would be really, really pissed off. So a lot of people see that and they're like, I'm going to lose my games? This isn't fair. Or if you have a ton of time saved up on your Xbox Live Gold membership, mine's currently good through 2021, or your Microsoft account balance. Some people like to buy point cards when they go on sale and kind of keep them on hand for purchases, and that can all be forfeited. And that's not really people don't want to deal with that. People are just like, man, like I just want to be me when I go online. I want to, if I got to cuss and say stuff, I don't want to get banned and lose all this stuff. And you're not going to, trust me. It's more about the offensive language, like racist and sexist. Of course, you know, I think people realize that that's what it truly means, but then they do have to wonder in this day and age of everybody getting offended at everything. You go down the Twitter or any of these forums and someone's always offended by the littlest things, and they're worried that, hey, if, for example, you come across a transgendered person who's really a he or a she, but you use the different, you call her a she instead of a he, and they take offense to that and they report you, people are kind of worried, like, is that situation going to get me in trouble? I doubt it, but it's just this kind of, offensive culture where everybody's offended about something, but that's not really what it is. It's just Microsoft kind of trying to protect themselves even further. Now, it's kind of interesting, this other portion here about don't publicly display or use of services to share inappropriate content or material involving, for example, nudity, bestiality, pornography, offensive language, graphic violence, or criminal activity. I mean, I think most people can understand that. However, Skype is a hotbed for nudity, especially between couples, that are long distance. And with Microsoft saying that they have the right to investigate and see if you violated anything, some people are saying, wondering, like, does this mean they're going to look through my text files, my video calls? Are they saved somewhere and not, like, deleted? So it's, a lot of people rightfully are wondering, like, what does this really mean? Like, is someone at Microsoft going to look through my late night wax session with my girlfriend to get their kicks off and say it was for investigative purposes? Interesting. I'm not sure that's exactly what they mean, because on Xbox Live, when the enforcement does have to investigate, they look through all the text and messages that are sent over Xbox Live. Do they have access to entire voice recordings of party chats and stuff? I have no idea. That seems like it would definitely take up a lot of space if they're recording party chat or game chat over a game. And I also kind of find it funny that you can't display nudity or offensive language or graphic violence on the Xbox when, a lot of people consider Call of Duty graphic or Battlefield, or for example, in Watch Dogs 2, I remember someone getting banned because they took a picture of a topless female in Watch Dogs 2 and shared it over Xbox Live and got a ban for it. It's like, this is a game on your platform. I'm using a function that your platform provides, screenshots and clips, to share those out, and yet I get in trouble for doing exactly what you have provided me with the tools to do. That is a little kind of screwed up in my opinion, but I don't know. Like, this article goes on to say that these terms of service changes are due to some new law that Congress enabled called Fight Online Sex Trafficking Act, the FOSTA, and the Stop Enabling Sex Trafficking Act, which would hold platforms responsible for user speech, illegally shared content, and anything that might be construed as trafficking. And it's been called the death of the open internet. So that's the thing here. Microsoft doesn't want to ban all of its users. They want as many users as they possibly can to pay the subscription fee to Xbox Live and buy games and buy DLCs. That's how they make money. If you suddenly go out there and say the F word or whatever, you're not going to get banned. However, if you do go out there and call someone the N word or harass people, Microsoft will look into that through your messages and make a case. And, it's something you agreed to when you signed up to the terms of service. I think it's funny that you're not allowed to share any sort of nudity or graphic violence through the services, considering Xbox Live is kind of built a feature in that actually has games that feature those things, and you can use the feature to display that to other users. That's kind of screwed up in my opinion. And I mean, I don't know how it affects Office. Like, what are you going to do? Open up Microsoft Word and say fuck you Microsoft and you get banned. So I think at the end of the day, this is Microsoft protecting themselves from the Congress's new laws, just covering their asses, making sure that they can't be held liable for anything that comes out of it. It's just them trying to clarify things and make it easier for people to understand. It's just that some people, I think they want to be told what exactly offensive language is, and they're not happy with the idea of some corporation determining what is offensive. I think a lot of people have issues with that in this day and age of everybody being offended by something, because you can't go online and say something to somebody without, worrying that you're offending them somehow. And people use that to like, oh man, am I going to lose my money on Xbox Live, my gold membership, all my games? So it's this kind of paranoia that spreads a little bit. But I don't think this is a big deal. I think things are going to operate just how they always have operated. You're not going to have anything to worry about if you're on Xbox. Just don't call people the N-word and don't harass women, all that stuff, and you won't have anything to worry about. Now, the other side of this is the whole private data thing. Like, they have a right to go through your private data, and I'm not very comfortable with that. I'm not very comfortable with any of these corporations going through my private data, which is why I always try to remain... I don't really give a lot of private data of that I have on these social services, because I don't know what they keep. I don't know if stuff is truly deleted. But it's kind of hard to fight that. I guess you kind of gotta roll with the punches and just be worried that essentially somebody could always be watching. Somebody could, read what you write. So you gotta be cognizant of the things and actions that you do, so it doesn't get you in trouble later. I'm not saying that's right that an Xbox and Google and Apple have this right to go through your stuff. I'm just saying you need to be aware that whether it's legal or not legal, or right or wrong, that somebody can look at your stuff and you need to act accordingly. But anyways, guys, that's the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, consider subscribing to the channel for new content, hit the notification bell so you're always notified when I drop new content, share it on social media, all that good stuff. You know the spiel, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.